Lately, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to really express yourself through photography, or the art of photography. Not just making technically good images, but photographs that actually say something about how I view the world. Our community has been digging deep into this book, The Art of Photography by Bruce Barnbaum. Right away in the first chapter, he states that photography is a form of nonverbal communication. At its best, a photograph conveys a thought from one person, the photographer, to another, the viewer. In this respect, photography is similar to other forms of artistic nonverbal communication, such as painting, sculpture, and music. And that really got me asking, what am I trying to communicate through my own photography? And why is it always black and white? Okay, so do I need every photograph to express something deep and personal? Or can I just make a picture because I love the way the light hits it, or the subject just really interests me? Because I kind of feel like this pressure to make every image some profound statement or message can actually keep me from making pictures. To me, that pressure it tends to be a little bit paralyzing, and it doesn't allow me to take pictures just because I enjoy it or if I just see something cool, and I don't want it to stop me from doing that. And so in that book, he reminds us that photography begins when we start seeing, not just looking. But I don't think interpretation has to be this huge statement. Sometimes I think it can just be appreciation. And maybe part of the art is just showing up, being present and responding just honestly to what draws you into something. And you know, the longer I'm out here photographing things, it makes me realize that expression it's not something that necessarily is forced, it's something that kind of just emerges. And by that, I really mean you get better at expressing yourself, not by forcing things, but by paying attention to what keeps pulling you back, the kind of light, shapes, or the moments that you simply can't walk past without pulling out your camera. So to me, it feels like a huge mistake to just be overanalyzing this. Like you should have something overly profound to say before you go out and take pictures, right? Because simply taking action is going to put you in that moment where that expression can actually happen and come out. So in other words, just put one foot in front of the other and sort of feel your way there. And that's probably gonna mean failing a lot, taking pictures that don't work, or maybe don't really say what you had hoped, or you just don't like them. And that's totally okay. That's completely part of the process. You want to move from simply looking to seeing. And the difference between simply looking and seeing is that seeing requires more insight, from understanding not just what's in front of us, but why it matters to us or why we're drawn to it. That's really what personal expression comes down to, just noticing the moments that genuinely connect with us. And I really believe that's how we generally get better at this craft. Not trying harder to be expressive, but just focusing on what naturally draws us in. So being aware of this, I actually started noticing patterns that I'm actually drawn to. Isolated forms, quiet scenes, and really just beautiful lighting. And I think that's what Barnbaum means when he talks about photography as communication. Every photograph is a reflection of how we see the world, even when we don't realize it. And that's why for me, black and white just makes more sense. It just strips away everything extra and keeps things a bit more simple. But even when you start to recognize what draws you, it's really easy to overthink it. I always catch myself asking, does every image need to have like some significant meaning? Or can I just shoot something because I like it? Because I really wonder if trying to define why I photograph things just gets in the way of actually photographing things. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that meaning isn't something that you really have to add to your work per se. It's already there in what stops you, what draws you in. That really is what defines you as a photographer. There's a part of me that just loves the process of black and white film photography, the sound of my Hasselblad shutter, the smell of fix and a fresh box of paper. Just watching the image come up in the developer is still special every single time. And this is even after over 30 years of doing it. And in reality, for me, that's where it all started. And it's enough that photography can just be simple and fun. It doesn't have to be anything deeper than that. I can just enjoy making pictures. Because sometimes the more serious we actually take photography, the more we can lose that sense of adventure and play. We start measuring our work against meaning, and worse yet, other photographers' work. And that's when we can start to doubt if our own work is important enough to be doing. What's really important, for me anyway, is that I keep following this childlike curiosity and love that I have for photography. It gives me a drive to explore new things and see things in a way that otherwise I wouldn't even see. That's really what got me so hooked and drives my passion for this medium in the first place. So maybe that's the balance, to care deeply but not let meaning start to become this burden. To make work that really matters to you, but still remember what it felt like to simply just enjoy the process. Barnbaum writes that every photograph communicates something about how we saw and how we felt, and sometimes what we feel is maybe just enough. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that photography really is just a conversation between what we feel, what we see, and what we ultimately choose to share. It doesn't have to be profound every time. Sometimes it's just about being awake enough to notice the light on a wall or the interesting geometry of a place that people just walk right past. But I'd love to hear what you think. Do you think your photographs need to have some deeper meaning, or is it enough to shoot simply because you love it? Drop a comment below. I do read them all, and I would love to keep this conversation going, because these are the kinds of questions that keep me coming back to the darkroom. Not just how to make a technically perfect print, but how to make one that actually means something. And if you're exploring the same ideas, if you're trying to build consistency, confidence, and a creative voice in your black and white work, you should probably check out Unlock the Darkroom and our film community. It's where we study books like The Art of Photography, share our work, and keep the conversation going about light, emotion, and what really draws us to making images. You can join us using the link below and be a part of a community that's learning, printing, and growing together. For me, that's become just a huge part of what photography is all about, learning to see, to feel, and to share this process with other people who truly understand. I hope to see you inside.